On December 12, 2025, we lost Peter Greene, who tragically passed away at the age of 60. And we lost one of our biggest actors of all time. He was known for playing such famous roles in movies, but the most popular, and is also, he played one of my most favorite villains. Yeah, you guessed it. This should take the bill here. In The Mask. Here we go.
I know I'm not the only one. Centered around an odd plasticine cartoon character
Who puts on a mask.
This film was the first time state-of-the-art CG effects were used to blend real life and cartoons as opposed to make dinosaurs or aliens come to life. When the trailer came out, people, particularly kids, were so excited that someone finally got the idea to use this technology in a zany way. And of course, this wacky take on technology is used everywhere today, even in commercials. It also helped that they got the rapidly rising star of Jim Carrey and the first appearance of Cameron Diaz as well. Years later, people still look at this film as a fun, wild, nostalgic throwback.
Before the dark times.
Except for that monstrosity right there.
Even with my obsessive love of this movie, even back then, I still knew it wasn't great. Now, don't worry, I'm not going to pan this film at all. If anything, I'm curious why so much of it still works today, when, honestly, a lot of it shouldn't. There's a ton of awkward moments, weird lines, and standard 90s cliches that were pretty formulaic even back then. Yet something about it is still charming, imaginative, and weirdly one of a kind. I guess I wanted to make it clear that even though I adore this movie, I still wanted to look at it objectively, for both its pros and cons. So, now that I think I made my point clear...
Hey, critic, want some of these gooey, messy sandwiches?
No, maybe it's okay. I'll eat it later. Thanks a lot, guys. Wow, thanks a lot.
Weirdly anticlimactic episode.
Let's take a look at The Mask.
I guess I should point out, seeing how I did a whole video on it, that the film is quite different from the comic. The comic is dark, violent, gory as hell, and incredibly mean-spirited.
Dang,
It's
it's fucking great.
That's what they want to make when they hired director Charles Russell, who brought more comedy to the Nightmare on Elm Street franchise, resulting in a big hit. New Line was hoping for The Mask to be the next Freddy Krueger, but as Russell pointed out, we already had a Freddy Krueger. So he pushed to do something lighter, but still relatively new. In fact, for better or worse, this is one of the perfect examples of transitioning from the aggressive R-rated 80s to the lighthearted PG-13 centered 90s. I'd be lying if I said I didn't want to see the comic on the big screen now with big budgets trying to be more daring, but in the 90s, I can see why they did something more zany and relaxed. With that said, we open with credits rolling over Edge City, which I'm pretty sure is the city from Babe 2, where a scuba diver stumbles across Jumanji but is accidentally taken out, unlocking an ancient mask. Not knowing this yet is Stanley Ipkiss,
Played, of course, by Jim Carrey.
who got concert tickets for his would-be girlfriend, but she complains she wanted to take her friend with her instead of him.
Why don't you just go with your friend?
I couldn't do that.
No, come on.
Boy, do I smell chicken, because cock.
That was the most sickening display I've ever seen.
I disagree. I think I'm wearing her down.
Jim Carrey really is the perfect actor to play this role, not because of his over-the-top flexibility as the Mask, though that is certainly important, but because of his likability as Stanley Ipkiss. Most actors, I think, would play this role too boring to contrast the other personality. Carrey himself said he didn't want people fidgeting in their seats saying just get to the mask already. And I still stand by, this is my favorite performance of his, as when he does other roles, it still feels like a performance. A good performance, but still a performance. This just feels like how Jim Carrey probably was. A nice but awkward people pleaser who's very expressive with his face. I also like that he doesn't hold back too much. He's still a little over the top, but in a way you feel like he would be in real life, especially given his obsession with cartoons. I firmly stand by, if Ipkiss didn't work, the movie wouldn't work. This is fortunate, as he and his comic relief Charlie almost impressively have no chemistry together.
Hold the phone. Killer at 3 o'clock.
I never noticed it before, but these supposed best friends come off more like, well, actors who just met for the first time on set.
Tonight, I'm going to take you on a love safari, deep into the darkest heart of the urban jungle.
Tell me more, Buana.
They're not awful, they're not even so bad they're funny, they just leave no impression as a comic duo. That aged great. Thankfully, the chemistry isn't focused on them as much as Carrey and then former newcomer, Cameron Diaz. She plays Tina, a charming singer pretending to open an account when really she's a friend for a mob boss.
What does Nico have to say about all this?
Things change. First we take the bank, then we take Nico, and then my friend's school is out.
I'm sorry, I accidentally put on heat. Peter Greene plays a gangster named Dorian.
And I'm pretty sure nobody told him this was supposed to be a comedy, because he plays this role like he's still in The Usual Suspects.
But I gotta say, I do really love Peter in this role because he does it pretty well. Especially when other actors do play the gangsters in their mob fighting movies. But Peter takes his whole level of actory to a whole other level.
Did it look like I had much of a choice?
Maybe you did. Maybe you didn't.
Maybe you didn't.
Who knows, right?
While a part of me does wish it was funnier, it does help offset the goofier moments and give a few more surprises about what's around every corner. Is a scene with a gun going to be funny or suspenseful? It helps mix things up. Speaking of which, Stanley's repair shop lies about his car being ready, so they give him Fosse Studebaker to go to Dorian's club with his friends. He can separate from them though and doesn't
very
mix well with security,
original.
causing Dorian to say lose him twice.
No, but my friends are on the inside.
Lose 'em.
Hey, come on now, guys.
He's been talking like that ever since he did that job with Johnny 2 times.
I'm gonna go get the papers,
Things get worse when a car ruins his suit.
Mr. Ipkiss.
Did you get my splash? I slipped the driver a 20 to do that.
Humiliated at the club, his car breaks down at a bridge where he stumbles across the ancient mask. When he gets home, we see he's quite the cartoon nut, which, as I mentioned before, is cleverly worked in and arguably does explain his expressive face.
Because he's obsessed with cartoons. And then he starts to transform to look like the green face from that other animated movie, what I don't know what is it.
So fun fact, Carrey apparently improvised that line as the original was snazzy. Snazzy. I can't even finish it. You know,
But that would have been a bit different, you know.
This is also where we get the intro of the photorealistic cartoon effects, which not only hold up pretty well, all things considered, but Carrey's performance does truly embrace them. This was new territory for effects like this, and he has no idea if they're gonna look good or not. But his acting never shows he has any doubt in them. If he's told his eyes are popping out in a scene, he does his damnedest to act like his eyes are popping out in a scene.
They also use the same effects for Pomni in episode 3 of the Digital Circus. Here's the clip.
Hi, I'm Ghostly.
It's literally the same thing. If you compare the two images side by side, you can see it's very similar. There's a little detail for you if you missed episode 3.
I thought you'd all like to know, by the way, these scenes have the official Tommy Lee Jones seal of buffoonery he cannot sanction.
Get right up here! Don't be shy!
Some of these moments are taken directly from the comic, like the balloon animal scene where he makes a Tommy gun, and the revenge he takes on the car mechanics. But instead of having cute little visual jokes on top of the punchline, they just die. A kid show came from this.
A year later came out in '95.
Played by Peter Riegert, and a reporter named Peggy.
Played by Amy Yasbeck.
May I be of some assistance?
Stanley Ipkiss. Oh, hi.
This guy exits every scene like he's gonna go jerk off in the corner. While interviewing him about the repair shop incident, Peggy discovers that Stanley wrote a letter to her that got published about nice guys finishing last.
You really think hundreds of women are looking for a guy like me?
Sure, I'm one of them.
The film does a real good job making you think Peggy is going to be the wholesome woman Stanley goes with, and Tina is going to be the bad girl that ultimately betrays him. Right down to one's a reporter and one's with the mob. This makes the twist all the more funny when you discover it's the other way around. But the movie has to remind you, oh yeah, it's a bizarre crime drama too.
But don't worry, we'll get to that scene a bit later.
At a rope with a tennis ball hitting his testicles, and this would totally be a James Bond torture. That night, Stanley dreams about how his encounter with Tina might have gone if he was more confident.
Wait, what?
Diaz, for your first film role, you're gonna take your leading man's head, turn it to the side, and lick his ear like your stardom is deep inside it. You sure this wasn't a Weinstein production?
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
This gives him the urge to put on the mask again,
But he's out of money, so he breaks into the bank that Dorian was blatantly playing there. And like I said, the cartoon effects in this are absolutely mind-blowing for 1994.
I I thought this was a sequel to Donnie Brasco. He shows up to the club to hear Tina sing, gives one of the few effects that doesn't hold up that great, and dances to the song you're almost all-star sick of, but not quite. I guess this is as good a time as any to say the soundtrack is fucking great.
It is fucking great.
I love this and Cuban Pete, but honestly, every song is really fantastic in this. The director said he wanted the city to really come to life at night, as the mask could only come to life at night. So he wanted it to be a very nightclub-centered world. And the music definitely helps that. Combining a strange mix of lounge, swing, and R&B, they surprisingly really go together and help already entertaining scenes explode with even more energy. I mean it, every song in this is hummable as hell.
Especially the one at the end.
I'll admit some moments I was afraid wouldn't hold up as well as when I first saw them, but for whatever reason, this quote-unquote death scene cracks me the hell up.
Tell Tony Tim I won't be coming home this Christmas.
I can't even explain why. Maybe because this guy is supposed to look sad that he's dead while Carrey is aggressively manhandling him during his supposed final moments.
Pardon me.
Okay, that is absolutely too hilarious for this scene.
Two of my favorite little add-ons are in this joke. One is Dorian, straightening his hair when he discovers he's suddenly being watched. And the other is Carrey exiting the wrong way, like so many winners do on award shows.
Hey, Calloway.
Better call that high-priced lawyer of yours, Tyrell. You and I are going downtown for a little chat.
We just threatened people with guns and fired him in public. He got nothing on us. Once it's revealed that the mask robbed the bank, Dorian is set loose and puts out a hit on the Greene menace.
50 grand on this year. Who captures that green face son of a bitch? You really wants bomb. I want to be hit. Every gangster in town wearing black suits, driving black cars, using this voice.
Using this voice. Visits Stanley to see if he knows anything about the mask, seeing how it was his bank that he robbed.
Anyone find out who he is?
Why are you interested?
Thanks for everything, Stanley.
You'd like to see him again, wouldn't you?
You will see it tonight at the park.
Serial killer vibe from that look.
You'd like to see him again, wouldn't you?
He'd like to see you too.
That does look like a serial killer look. What do you think?
He takes his mask to a professor, played by Ben Stein, who connects it back to the ancient trickster
Loki.
Possibly a representation of one of the Norse night gods. Maybe Loki.
Who's Loki?
Loki is banked.
Stein's underacting perfectly offsets Carrey's overacting. And I legit love that nobody figures out because Loki is a night god, it would only work at night. So this reaction is always a surprise and gets a big laugh.
This is why I don't believe in evolution.
Here's the pickle relish.
Doyle, get in the car.
But I ordered onion rings.
Doyle!
I should point out this is the very sudden beginning of Calloway and his assistant Doyle doing the smart cop, dumb cop routine. At first, Doyle is just a normal guy. He talks with Calloway like anyone else would.
Well, we got some fingerprints on some of the currency, but nothing matches Tyrell's men. Looks like this guy beat him to the punch.
But halfway through, they spontaneously make him a dumbass, always getting on Calloway's nerves. It's completely out of nowhere.
Doyle!
Shut up and help me down. All right.
Start dancing, I'll blow your brains out.
Wow, you're a real hero.
Doyle! It'd be like if Timon and Pumbaa halfway through Lion King changed gears and became a no-nonsense cop duo. It'd be out of left field, but kind of funny too.
Stanley.
Stanley meets Tina at
Landfill Park.
The city is so close to having a strong identity. But he changes into the mask, much to her delight, confusion, fear. It's a little hard to get a read on her in these scenes.
Ipkiss! Police!
The cops try to arrest him, but he outsmarts them only to be cornered by a SWAT team. This leads to, let's face it, what you've been humming since you saw the thumbnail for this video.
They call me Cuban Pete. I'm the king of a rumba beat.
Cuban Pete is one of the most catchiest songs in the entire movie.
Soundtrack that already has a lot of earworms. I have to admit, though, when I think of pure, silly joy in a movie, this sequence always pops in my head. It is the most upbeat, surreal, out-of-nowhere musical number at the time since Deo from Beetlejuice. I feel like if this was done today, they'd do some sort of modern pop song. I really give credit that they stuck with something more traditionally zany. This cop in particular does a really amazing job. Really think about what she has to do. She has to be in cop mode, start singing while in cop mode, get across the singing is against her will, indicate her body is going through the same thing, and then be totally possessed by the mask's powers. All within the span of just 5 seconds. As well as while a surf ninja poster is staring her in the face. I don't know, even if I saw this all going on, I'd still be distracted. What the hell is surf ninjas?
That we shall try, just you and I.
Oh, and she can dance. For not even having a minute of screen time, that cop leaves quite an impression. Stanley finds a corner and takes the mask off.
I never understood why.
Peggy is there to help him escape.
My life is wrecked. Wrecked.
Stanley opens up to Peggy, who at first seems sympathetic, but as mentioned, she was working for Dorian.
All this friggin' time.
You really are a great guy. I just can't lose my condo.
If it makes you feel any better, Stanley, I don't think sex with her would have worked out anyway.
Is this him?
Don't mess with me. I got my sideways gunman with me, bro.
This is here where the movie gets a little dumb. If you're like me, you're probably expecting to see what the mask would do to a criminal like Dorian. It will turn him wild and zany, or maybe it will turn him into some sort of out there monster like in the later comics. Well, the answer, it just pushes him forward a few feet and just makes him bigger and meaner.
Rush. You okay?
Better than ever, you idiot.
But that voice is absolutely scary. Can you imagine what children would think of that when they saw it in the 90s? It would scare the shit out of parents and kids. But I find that look pretty dark amazing.
He kind of looks like a green version of that Terminator toy when the hair stayed on.
I'll go and say, this looks better than every other version of the Green Goblin.
Back off, Freakazoid!
Also, I should mention, there was a deleted scene that shows Peggy dying.
Yeah, it was deleted with good reason. The guy who did Nightmare 3, you don't say. Dorian drops him off to the cops who put him in jail because...
Well, he does technically belong there.
But he's visited by Tina.
Hey, you with the face.
Before he was a household name, that's how Jim Carrey was referred to.
They talk about the powers of the mask.
Dorian could do with it, and the special, if not strange, relationship they have together.
Thanks.
For what?
For being the only guy who treated me like a person and not some sort of party favor.
Yes, he really loved you for your personality. Okay, to her credit, I think she was talking about him when he wasn't wearing the mask. But that doesn't mean she has to follow all the way through with a kiss.
I've got to disappear for a while now, Stanley.
Baby, there you are.
I needed someone to tell me how stupid my suit was.
You playing a little trip without me, baby? No.
Jesus,
Jesus, Dorian, it is too violent.
Oh, we forgot to have that talk. Yes, that's the kind of movie we're making.
But it's not.
I'm not telling him that. He'll kill me. Stanley uses his dog Milo to get the keys from the cops. And I gotta say, as animal actors go, Milo is one of the best in cinematic history.
This dog
has so much personality and is so ridiculously well trained.
Put the keys down.
And get to the keys. Get to the keys.
Over there.
If there was like an animal Oscars, he would totally get an award that year.
This dog is actually such a good actor. No CG was used in the filming of these
Maybe one of
scenes.
the best Doyle reactions in the movie.
Come on.
Well, that invites no follow-up.
As Dorian gets revenge on his boss and he plans to blow up the nightclub.
Blow it!
I was talking to her, but that works too.
Crap.
Stanley is captured, but Tina has a plan of her own.
There's no time for last requests.
But all I wanted was a kiss.
A kiss.
I never had to very expect to see Mask Dorian's first face. Can you just imagine that, seeing that in your dreams?
Nobody ever kiss me like Dorian Tyrell.
You know, I saw this in every Saturday morning show ever made, but I doubt it'll end the same way those did. Oh, crap!
Milo gets the mask and puts it on. This dog is actually such a good actor. No CG was used in the filming of these scenes. Stanley gets the mask back on.
In a weird jump cut that always drove me a little crazy.
Christ, I've seen this film too much. And he uses his final power to get rid of the bomb and Dorian as well.
That might be the one time Carrey didn't know what face to have for a scene. He has a look like you took the last French cruller, and I am not gonna let you forget about it.
Anyway, he turns back into himself, and the day is saved.
Everyone except Calloway thinks Dorian was the mask all along.
I want to see you in my office first thing tomorrow.
Yes, Your Honor. Boy, that doesn't sound good at all.
Oh, it doesn't sound good. Oh, it sound good to you.
Breakfast.
Shut up!
They drive to the bridge where the mask was found and decide to get rid of it for good.
You sure you know what you're doing, buddy?
I'm sure.
It's time to give Jamie Kennedy a chance to ruin his career.
Good, Tina. The mask is thrown away, but then he eventually goes after it.
Yeah, that still would have sounded awful.
And that was The Mask. And after 31 years later, I gotta say, this film is still lots of fun to watch. A new kind of comedy that makes the CGI look cartoony. Jim Carrey, awesome in his role, trying to be a little bit different. Whatever that monstrosity was on Peter Greene. Cameron Diaz as Tina, she was still popular after she voiced Fiona. The cast, The Mask, some of them died, unfortunately, during the later years. But this film is still being talked about years later. If you are a fan of Jim Carrey, recommend watching The Mask with your family. Get yourself some friends, maybe your family, have some popcorn, enjoy watching The Mask, and avoid that monstrosity of Son of the Mask. I really love the original, by the way. If you are a fan of The Mask, also if you watch the animated series that came out in '95, a year after the movie, watch this instead. I'm your boy Michael here, so you don't have to.